Hey guys, I hope you all are fine. Today I come up with a great theory about the DevOps side. So mostly people are confusing what is DevOps and what is the role of DevOps people. So DevOps engineer, you can see, and very hot jobs are coming on DevOps side, right? Mostly companies need these engineers. So let me clear you about the first of all the concept of DevOps. What is the DevOps here? So let's suppose you have a team of developer team, and one you have an admin team. So developer team is write a code for you. Every time the developer write the code, so once he write the code and he push this code to an SCM, which is your source control management. It may be a GitHub or any else other GitLab. So developer push the code on SCM, then we will go with that SCM. On behalf of that, we will build the image of this code. So because why we need the image here, so I will tell you later on. Just to analyze the DevOps cycle of these things, so how the DevOps teams work and admin's role and DevOps role, so developer roles. So after that image building, we can make the image with the Docker file or Docker compose. Using these things, we can make an image. Once the image is built, so you need a storage to store your image. You can do it locally. Once the image is built, like you can comment your image, so it will be stored locally. But when you are going to, after this stage, so stage number one this, then we have stage number 2, then we have the testing phase. So every company have their tested image, because the developer writes the code rightly or not, or so you have to test it. So how can we test it? We have an environment where we can use a Docker container. Why Docker container here we use Docker container here? Because the Docker is very fast and it take very less resources. It's mean, so let me clear you about some Docker concept, little bit concept about the Docker. So we will go up again for the DevOps side. So what is the Docker? Docker is the actually engine who runs your container. So what happened? How can we achieve this Docker engine? So let's suppose we have an physical hard drive and RAM, CPU. Then we have installed the OS on it. Let's suppose CentOS 7 or 8, whatever you want to do. So after that OS done, so you have install a one layer which is called Docker engine. So you can check it on Google or go to my website, another video for the how to install the Docker engine in CentOS 7, so you can achieve that from there. So once the Docker engine is installed, so we get some layer here that we can launch multiple container here on a single machine. We launch completely and isolated container on the Docker engines. It means it's a one another OS. Let's suppose it's a CentOS OS and it's a Windows, or we can do it Windows on this container. Then we have Ubuntu image. So all are the different images, only one single mode. So it's like a, so this is called normally containerization. It's as like we have virtualization. So it's called containerization. So we can achieve this the Docker on the CentOS 7. So we can install it. So let's move on the our main topic. So why we need, you have clear about this thing. So Docker have been installed. So now the testing people or any test QA engineer, so test this image to this image on their Docker. Why we use Docker here? Again, I will to tell you, because of just to make a quick installation and quick analyze. Because Docker container will be installed within 1 or 2 seconds. So you just need an image, because Docker need an image. So whether it should be in your local environment or in your public environment. So we have the public repositories or private repositories. We can make it where we can make it via hub.docker, hub.docker.com. You can go on their website, create your account and upload your image over there. So once the testing engineer come up, so it will be check via privately or publicly if he wants to launch the Docker image locally, so he can be launch and test this image. It's according test this image whether it's right or not, it's right or not. So here we test this thing on locally. So once the local tested verify, so what will be happen again? So it's mean that the QA engineer said that there is no issue in their code, we have analyzes all the things. So now we have to move this thing on the production side. So production side we have an admin team or just a admin side. So let me just write it here, let me admin here. So now this thing will be uploaded on the deployment phase. Go in the deployment. Deployment means it will be go over the internet or in production side, your production, your live environment. So once the things goes well from the developer end, so it will be go on the development side. Development teams will be deployment teams will be do this image on the production side. Once it production side have been live, so we will again once the production have been live, let's suppose your production is now live here, so we will have a monitoring team over here. So we will monitor it. So continuously we will monitoring it here. Let's suppose if anything bugs come up from the client end, if client here and he is accessing your website which is running on your DevOps, run from the DevOps environment or all the things, or your Docker machines. So if anything goes wrong, like any page is not working here, so client report us that this link is not working or this thing is happening when he is accessing your website. So we got this thing from the monitoring logs as well. Once we got this complaint, we again complaint launched to the developer end. So developer again check this that thing, and again write the code, again make an image, then again test it, then again once it's fixed, then it will be goes again in the production side. Then production we will again launch and then again check with the client that whether if he's still facing this issue or not. So this is admin side role. So you can say this is ops team, operation team, and this is a developer team. So this makes a DevOps engineer. So what happened in middle? Who will do this thing? So we have multiple tools here to run these things. So we have deployment we have deployment. We have multiple things. We can go with the Kubernetes. We can go with the Docker side. We can go with the cryo, which are using by OpenShift, and then we have another multiple rockets. I believe one of the tool is we are using for the deployment phase. Deployment phase, we come up with the resources like CPU, RAM, hub, and then these are the things are needed. An image should be uploaded on publicly. So it not be on a private, because it already tested privately. So it should be when that comes in the deployment set, so it should be on publicly or privately, whatever you have want in your environment. So you can get the image from any private registry or public registry. We have one of the Docker hub.docker, the name of the link, and so you can go and multiple images over there, so you can download it and test your all the things, or you can make this environment for you. So what happen if developer works in night? In night he just write 3 a.m. a code, and he said that the code have been built, now you have to test it. So we have something in our environment that should be automate this thing. So let's suppose he pushed the code on GitHub. He pushed the code on GitHub. So how GitHub should be know or testing environment and testing engineer have tested and uploaded on the Docker Hub website. So how can we integrate this thing automatically? So we have another tool which is called Jenkins. So we have in Jenkins, we have an option to, whenever the any things come up in GitHub, so download it and deploy in the production. So we so ops team will never be some wake up and check and manually and deploy it manually. So it will be automatically when the Jenkins will play a role here. So these are the things which is come play and automate your things in DevOps environment. So as a DevOps engineer, you know the Gates and SCMs, GitHubs, and how to create the image with the Docker file or Docker Compose. Then testing environment, test your environment locally. Once it's fine, then it should be uploaded on public or private. Once the public and private is uploaded, then the operation team will be come up here and they take that image from the repository and deploy it in their environment according to their resources, whether it would be Kubernetes or Docker or Cryo. So once it's deployment, then it goes into over the internet and client access. If anything goes wrong or find anything problem in their image or something monitoring, so we continuously monitoring it. So once we got any error from the client or observing while deploying this image, so we again call to or revert back to the developer team that we are facing this issue, so you need to fix it. So this is I believe a whole clear idea about the DevOps. So let me make a clear life cycle of this. So you have a developer team. He develop a code, and code is pushed on SCM like GitHub. Once it's done, then we have second phase it to go with image creation. Once the image creation, then it will be goes on testing environment. So once the test is finalized, we have to go with deployment side. Once the deployment is completed, then we go for the monitoring and analyzing these things. So this a cycle is like this. You have to go down narrow one here, and then go image, then this. Then you have to go with the development team, then development team, the monitoring team. If anything find by monitoring team, so that it will be goes again with the DevOps team, so or developer team that we are facing this issue. So this is a cycle which we can say that continuous implementation or continuous deployment on this thing. So this is also called CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. We are continuously monitoring it. If anything goes wrong, so we go with the DevOps team and said them that you have to fix this issue. So we continuously, once the image have been fixed or bugs have been fixed, so we again it's going in the deployment phase. Continuous deployment, continuous integration are come up under the line of DevOps. So this is the role of DevOps. So we and in between, we to automate this thing, we use Jenkins. So Jenkins is main. Here is one of the most important thing that that our resources are too much using. Because we need a developer to write the code and push this code on any public and private repositories. So once they uploaded the image, then testing, and then again deployment, then monitoring, then again this. So you need a continuous the resources. You can continuous using the resources. You need a account on the Docker Hub. Let's suppose Docker Hub. Then let's suppose, and after that you need image, container needed. You for monitoring you are using, let's suppose, Grafana or Prometheus. Some load or CPU monitoring or RAM monitoring, you need these type of things, logs, for logs monitoring. So you need another server here for monitoring. You need storage here to store your private or public key or public image. So you have a registry needed. You need a security. You need a build test here, again testing, again destroy, build testing. So these are the things are taking too much time or taking too much resources here. So you need independent tools. Every tools, you need a Jenkins here, you need a storage here to store the things, Dockers. You need monitoring servers and log servers to monitoring continuously deployment for KS or Docker or Cryo. All are the entities are independent. So why we don't have any one solution here? So we need a one solution here to fix these all the things in a one platform. So what that could be the platform? Independence theme required too much resources. So why we don't have any one thing which consume less resources and provide you all the things like you need, all the things, whatever the development environment, then your SCM your SCM environment should be there in one solution. In your image will be created, your private and public facilities of the registry will be in there. So your build, your testing over there, your configuration, your deployment over there, your monitoring always there. So all the things in one solution. Why we have multiples things are here? So now we have only one solution here, which is a great one, and nowadays companies are moving on it, which is OpenShift, engine, which is a product of Red Hat. By OpenShift engine, you can achieve all the things in one box. All the things, your SCM, your Git, your build, your testing environment. You can go with the deployment environment, your monitoring as well. All the things are fixed, or you can achieve this in only one product, which is OpenShift. I will talk about more about the OpenShift in my later videos. I hope you have clear idea about the DevOps, what is the DevOps and what is the CI/CD pipeline. So I will talk about the more in one solution about the OpenShift, and will make more videos about it, to how we can use it OpenShift. So people are finding now these engineers who knows about the OpenShift, not about the DevOps. Although DevOps is a very great thing. You need a developer, another developer hire here. So the code, write the code, build the code, and upload. Then you have all the things are individual. So your individual person will work all the things. So in individual resources are using here. So why we don't Jenkins here? So all the things are why we don't have in a one product. So we have now in the market of the one product, which is OpenShift. Right now the OpenShift is, I believe, 2.6. It's 6, I'm not confirmed, but I work on 4.2 OpenShift. So it's a great tool. So I will talk about more and tell you about the basic of the OpenShift, and some more, create some environment for the OpenShift, and tell you how great it is. So this is the thing, and in OpenShift I will let you know about the what is the build configuration, what is the image stream, what is the image stream, and what is how can we check the SCM, and how all the things are deploy only one single click. Single click means it's analyze all the things in only from your GitHub UI. So you just put the link, GitHub link in the OpenShift panel. So it will automatically analyze that the code is written in the PHP. Then you need a web server of Apache, and you need a storage, private, and store the image. So all the things are working behind this only by a single one click. So I will let you know about this thing. So this is the concept of DevOps. So I hope you have cleared the DevOps environment. Mostly people are confusing it. I hope I tell you in a very better way. So this is the DevOps. So I will make the videos of Docker, basic Docker things, and I will tell you about the about the Kubernetes as well. So just stay with me. So I will make a video for them, and soon I will come up with the new video of OpenShift and some of basic and interface. So one more great thing is OpenShift is it has an web-based web UI. All the things are, you can go on the web UI as well, or the CLI. So we will go both on site. So it's great thing if you know the CLI. So sometimes the web UI is not working. If you are expert in CLI, so you can mold it as per your according requirement. So thank you guys for watching this thing, and I hope you like this one video, and share it much as possible. Thanks a lot.